This is the first song I ever wrote. It was 2016. I was 19. Somewhere on an old phone, there is a recording of me trying very hard to sound like a real songwriter, and listening back now is physically painful. I can feel my face trying to leave my body, but I am not here to dunk on my younger self. I am here because that song shows something almost every songwriter has to face: the gap between where your taste is and where your ability is. That gap feels embarrassing when you are in it, but it is also where the work happens. So in this video, I am going back through the song, naming what was wrong and turning the cringe into a useful songwriting checklist. The most revealing part was not that the song was bad. Of course it was rough. The revealing part was seeing exactly what I did not know, that I did not know. That is what slows beginners down. You can work hard for years and still keep repeating the same problems if nobody helps you see them clearly. My first song had four big issues. The lyrics summarized feelings instead of showing scenes. The structure wandered around without a clear home base. The style was borrowed from artists I loved, and the melody did not have a hook. Each one is fixable. And if you can hear those problems in old work, that is not proof you failed. That is proof your ears got better. Lesson 1. The lyrics were about feelings, not scenes. My 19-year-old self wrote lines packed with words like heart, soul, pain, forever, and endless. I thought those words were emotional because they name big emotions. But naming an emotion is not the same as making someone feel it. A song gets stronger when it gives the listener a specific place to stand. Not just heartbreak, but the moment heartbreak became real. The last message that never got answered. The cup still sitting on the counter. The song playing in the store when you were trying not to think about somebody. The specific detail is what lets the emotion earn its way in. Here is the practical rewrite rule I wish I had known. Write scenes, not summaries. If a chorus says, "I am broken," ask what broken looks like in the room. Is there a jacket left behind? A screen lighting up at midnight? A chair nobody sits in anymore? Concrete images do not make a song less universal. They make it more universal because listeners connect through pictures they can enter. The exercise is simple. Take one chorus you wrote and highlight every abstract word. Love, pain, feel, heart, soul, forever. Then rewrite the chorus without those words. Use only things you can see, touch, hear, taste, or smell. The emotion will usually get stronger because you stopped announcing it and started proving it. Lesson 2. The structure was a mess. My first song had an intro, a verse, a pre-chorus, a chorus, a bridge, another chorus, a second verse that mostly repeated the first verse, a post-chorus nobody requested, and an outro that would not leave the building. The wildest part is that if you asked me which section was the chorus, I probably would have hesitated. That is a problem because structure is how the listener knows where they are. A chorus should feel like home because the verse has taken you somewhere. A bridge should feel like a new angle because it is supposed to cross into different emotional territory. If every section has the same weight, no section feels important. The fix is not to make every song predictable. The fix is to make every section earn its place. Standard structure is not the enemy of creativity. It is a reliable map. Verse, chorus, bridge, chorus works because the listener can feel departure, return, change, and final return. For my old song, I would cut the duplicate second verse, remove the extra post-chorus, and make the chorus arrive at one obvious emotional peak. Here is the exercise. Map your last 3 songs on paper. Draw a box for each section and label it. Then ask, what is this section's job? Does the chorus feel like returning home? Does the bridge reveal something new? If you cannot answer, the structure is probably doing too much or too little. Lesson 3. I was trying to sound like someone else. This one is uncomfortable because it is so normal. When you are young, you listen to artists you love and you try to reverse engineer the feeling. That can be useful for learning. The danger is when inspiration becomes replacement. In my first song, the melodies, rhythm choices, and emotional posture were all borrowed from the music I was listening to at the time. I was not using those influences as teachers. I was hiding behind them. The song did not sound like me learning from other writers. It sounded like me asking permission to exist by sounding familiar. The way out is specificity. Ask, what am I trying to be here? Then ask the harder question, if nobody else existed, what would I write? That does not mean you have to be weird just to prove you are original. It means you look for experiences only you could have lived. The grocery store at 2 a.m., the conversation with a family member you wish you had recorded, the awkward voice memo you almost deleted, the city, the room, the weather, the tiny detail that belongs to your life. When you write from that place, other artists can still influence craft, but they stop replacing your point of view. That is where a songwriter starts to become recognizable. Lesson 4. The melody had no hook. At 19, I thought melody meant notes going up and down. Technically, yes, but a melody is not memorable just because it moves. My melody wandered. It had no phrase that promised the listener, "You will remember me later." A hook is the simple moment someone can repeat after one listen. It might be a repeated note, a leap, a rhythm, or the title landing in exactly the right shape. The important part is that the listener can hold it in their head. If a chorus is too busy to remember, it might feel emotional in the room, but disappear 10 seconds after the song ends. To fix that, study the choruses you cannot forget. Do not just ask whether they are good. Ask what the melody is doing. Does it repeat one note before moving? Does it jump once and then resolve? Does the rhythm make the lyrics snap into place? Try writing the melody using numbers, 1 for the root, 2 for the next note up, and so on. You do not need to be a theory expert. You are looking for the pattern, then write one phrase for your own chorus that is almost too simple. Something a listener could hum after one pass. A great hook usually feels obvious after it exists, but it only gets there because the writer made a clear choice. So here are the 4 lessons from reacting to my first song. 1. Write scenes, not summaries. The specific detail carries the emotion. 2. Structure matters. Every section needs a job, and the chorus should feel like home. 3. Influences are teachers, not hiding places. Your specificity is the advantage. 4. A melody needs a hook, one simple, memorable promise the listener can take with them. If you are embarrassed by your old work, try not to be cruel to the person who made it. That version of you was doing the best they could with the tools they had. Your job now is to listen with curiosity. Find one song you wrote more than a year ago, write down 3 things your current self can hear, and use those lessons in the next song. That is growth.